Hi there, I'm Carolyn, trichologist at Absolique Hair Health Clinic. Today we want to talk a little bit more about vitamin D. I keep seeing very low levels of vitamin D in my client population. So vitamin D on its own is not just a vitamin. We require it for our hormones and also for our immune system, bone structure, as well as many other conditions. Low vitamin D will cause anxiety and depression and all sorts of things. What I keep seeing is the reference range that you're given by pathology or the medical world is very out of range. So with all this COVID going on, obviously we want to increase immunity. A lot of the functional doctors that I follow keep republishing the actual ranges, which were changed through cancer research in 2014. They upped the level. So an example, in Australia they say if you're above 49 you're fine, whereas they found that was very wrong, and the minimum, what they call RDI requirement for basic health, is 150 and the upper echelon is 300. So if you're coming in and you're above 50 and you're told that you're totally fine, you're going to be very symptomatic of all sorts of other vitamin D deficiency symptoms. And for what I do here as a trichologist, we're helping people with hair loss and scalp conditions. Very low vitamin D, which I see a lot, will actually cause hair loss. It causes hormonal problems, it causes autoimmune conditions. So now we're talking about alopecia areata, frontal fibrosing alopecia, and all the other categories of autoimmunity in there as well. And then for the scalp conditions, we're seeing psoriasis, eczema, and seborrheic dermatitis. It's really interesting when the body is screaming out saying that it doesn't have the oil, so the fat soluble vitamin D. When it's deficient, you're also deficient in essential fatty acids, which we cannot manufacture as humans, and the body will produce more oil, as in on your skin, acne, and scalp conditions, trying to tell you something's wrong inside. So don't ignore the signs. So when it comes to vitamin D, we need to know your number, and we need to check it against the actual functional medical world, not just the medical world. Now they are trying to change it, but it does take time. So if we are 150, okay, and that's bare minimum, so it's very safe. To maintain that, you need 4,000 international units a day. Now I'm talking in Australian terms. If you're somewhere else in the world, we can change the numbers for you. But 4,000 international units a day. So most of the clients I find have a really nice brand of vitamin D supplement, but they're only taking one a day, which is 1,000 international units. So it's nowhere near enough to maintain RDI or even raise levels up. So just say you're at 50 and we need to get you to 150, we might have to go to a product that's a little bit higher, okay? So something like 5,000 IU. You have to be really careful what brands you use. Don't use cheap brands either, because you don't know where it's from. A lot of vitamin D is taken from sheep's wool, so therefore they're using petrochemicals and all sorts of other things. And the other thing is vitamin D works really well with the fat-soluble vitamin K2. Okay, so we need to make sure we're getting it from various forms. So I might use some oral serums, which are liposomal, a little bit of supplementation taken at the right time in the right dose. Then you want safe sunshine, and of course we want to look at the food as well. So we're talking, it must be wild caught fish. No farmed fish. In Australia, the salmon is generally farmed. It's all about what did the fish eat. So it must be wild caught fish or organic / pasture raised eggs. So it's all about what did the chicken eat. So those types of food can also help to raise your vitamin D in combination with correct supplementation. And also, as we said, safe sun. So I'm going to put a blog attached to this with all the research links for you to go through, download it, take it to your doctor, say this is now like 7 years out of date. We need to know our vitamin D levels. You have a right to test it as well. It's covered by Medicare, but we need to get you in safe zones. It's amazing the changes I see in people's health, scalp, hair, and just in their well-being by getting their vitamin D levels up. So if you need some help with your vitamin D or scalp concerns, hair loss, hair thinning, I'm here to help. It's Trichologist. You can email me info@absolique.com.au. I am in Brisbane, Australia, but we can help people all over the world. Thanks.